Ah. How's everybody doing? I hope you're not offended by not having a shirt on. I do have my swimming trunks on. It's hot. Listen. I'm a city boy, New York boy. Was, you know. I've never been used to this type of heat. This is a motherfucking heat. This is a motherfucking heat. To end all heat. You hear me? This is wow. Look at that. Look at that. I'm telling you. Things never run smoothly. Gotta do all kinds of shit. Oh man. If I do it like this, the likelihood of me putting it back on my head, it's almost next to none. Okay? Next to none. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ah. All right. Let's see if I can put this on now, right? Yeah, because I gotta fix my hair. My hair is growing and it's looking sloppy. All right? It's looking sloppy. Give me a second here. Now I understand why men with natural long hair and how women feel when it comes to their hair. Because it's I actually don't know how you do this shit. I don't know how you do this shit. So I'm just gonna go like this. Okay? I gotta make sure that I don't do it too hard because it might break the hair off the roots. And these are not extensions. This is my real hair. Uh, uh, I thought I had it together before I got on the air, but you all know how Saturn do. It was nice and good. And the minute I press live, Saturn goes, no bitch. Now I'm gonna make it hard for you. And I go, oh yeah, I know about this. I'm familiar with this. Yeah, all right, let's do it. All right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now I understand why celebrities uh have makeup artists and people that do this shit for them. The problem is that as a shaman, I'm not allowed to have my hair touched by anybody. I gotta do everything myself. So if I want to look cute one day or any day, I'm still responsible for making that happen. Oh my god. Ooh, this is work. I'm already tired. Uh-huh. And I don't know what I'm doing. I follow the crease, right? And then, uh-huh. Right. And I gotta be very strategic, very careful that I don't pull it too hard and break the hair. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. I'm tired. I'll get back to it in a minute. Yeah. I'm supposed to go to some white party tonight, a gala for the movers and shakers of Houston society. I don't know what I'm going to do about this hair. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm rotating it. I have to be very careful. Again, look at that. It's a fucking hot mess. A hot mess. A hot mess. Uh-huh. I'll be right with you guys. Don't worry. You know, they say, not the hair, not the hair. Uh-huh. Come on. Uh-huh. It's work. It's work. It's work. It's almost there. Oh, it's almost there. It's almost there. It's almost there. Uh-huh. Wow. Wow. Uh-huh. Ooh. Oh. Well, you all know me. I keep things raw and the real. Okay. Now it looks like it's in completely. Now I gotta doll it up. I gotta make it cute. Right? Like a pyramid. Yeah? Because it looks fucked up. Like an explosion occurred all around it. There we go. And this way, bring it down. There you go. Uh-huh. Sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting to do a hair lesson here. But this is as good as it's going to get. It got to match to my trunks, right? It got to match. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listen, I can't complain, right? I don't think I look bad for 54 years old. Not bad for 54. No, I stopped. I've been through so fucking much. This past 2.5 years, my Saturn return, and the fucking hitmen, the killers, and my wife, and the brother. The soap opera. That's the only way I can call it. All right. Luckily for me, I haven't gone to the gym in about 2 weeks. So I got, my muscles are slimming down. I got to get back to it. And I don't eat. When it's this hot, I don't eat. And when you're working out, you got to eat. You got to eat. I don't want to look at no food, though. With this heat, I'll do some Aperol, though. With some lemonade and shit. But to eat, no. When I cut my hair, I cut it all the way to by the scalp. People think that I have receding hairline. No, I don't. I cut my hair, but sometimes I go too far and I cut way beyond the receding line. Oh, but it looks like a crown. You gotta do your own shit sometimes, right? All right. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I got my Aperol. So yeah, I'm doing live readings for you guys. This will be $40 readings. 40. Yeah. $40 readings, half an hour. They are the 25 for 25 readings. I have to put a stop to it because I never stay at 25 minutes. I always go above me on. And I don't like to cut information when it's critical. Because I'm not motivated by money. I'm really not. But I got a staff to pay and business to run, so I got to charge. You know how it is. I really wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. But a lot of you requested birth charts, and that went very well. Some of you were here in downtown Houston and actually came to my hotel room, and we had a blast. And you learned a lot. I learned from you, you learned from me, and made a little money. Brought me some gifts. Some of you brought me some tarot card gifts. Gifts that I've always wanted to have and I couldn't find. Yes, some of you got a little bit spooked out with security, right? Because you just don't have access to me that easily anymore, considering what I'm going through, right? But yeah. So we're gonna do it again today, and I will be up until 10 a.m. Okay. If you guys are interested, you know what to do. You go to my Zelle, which is Chase Bank. That's the business account. And it's 347-485-6258. And it's $40. You give it in. And then I will do the reading live. The readings by Zoom that were compromised due to the audio, based on that heat advisory, have been completed. So if any of you are live, don't think that I forgot about you. It's early in the morning here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. So you have to allow my staff to wake up, which is 10 o'clock our time, to begin sending you the videos, okay? But that has been rectified. And I have not slept redoing them. This is Saturn in Aries. It's fucked up. But we took care of the situation. Zoom sent a national apology. And we at the People's Astrologer are apologizing as well to you, because people are funny when it comes to their money. But, shit happens, We're living in a digital world. And, we take Mother Nature for granted sometimes. When you have a heat advisory, you ignore it, right? All of a sudden, you can't turn on the fucking water. You can't flush the toilet to flush your own shit. The AC don't work. The Wi-Fi falls apart. There's no Wi-Fi. These are the things that can occur when there's a heat advisory and when the towers are struck and cannot work. We also are having some severe thunderstorms. And from what I'm understanding, here in Houston, lightning strikes the towers, some of these towers that supply us with these services. Who knew, right? Look, I don't know. I took a lot of this shit for granted. I really did. But I come from one of the most powerful, richest cities on the planet, New York City. And, we don't have to worry about these kinds of inconveniences. But here in Houston, we do. I was also told that we got to be careful about flooding. We have flooding issues in Houston, too. These inconveniences or incongruencies is going to interfere with the quality delivery of service. But I'm glad that I'm finding this out early, because then it allows me to counter. It allows me to counterbalance the situation. Yeah? So yes, I was invited to a white party in downtown Sugarland with some of the movers and shakers of that community. You know, you know, Sugarland is one of the wealthiest suburbs of Houston. Everybody there got private jets and private planes. Fees. My goddaughter lives there. It's because of her that I moved to Houston. I'm like, well, you little girl, you live like this? I had no idea. Scorpio, but no, they go where the money at. Fuck where Brooklyn at. Where the money at? Well, apparently, there's a lot of money here. And the shelter systems, which is by donations of some of the most wealthiest philanthropists of all of Houston, you gotta see how you gotta see some of these motherfucking shelters. I was like, what? This is a motherfucking shelter with fucking fountains and ponds and birds singing? You know. I thought I was in an episode of the Twilight Zone. Crazy. I don't smoke. Well, you know, guy, I used to smoke my spliff. Yeah. But I haven't been doing that in almost 2 years, 2.5 years since I've been having this crisis. You know, because you can't stay focused. I don't smoke cigarettes. If I do, you know, Uncle Fernando is stressed. And I think maybe once or twice you guys have seen me smoke cigarettes. I got a whole towel sheet. The way I just spit it right at it. The air conditioner. I don't do well with air conditioning. I don't like it. I don't like what it does to the air. Some of these hotel rooms have filter systems that they don't clean them. I'm a Virgo, you know. I gotta have things clean. I open the bitch myself and have it clean, because you don't know what kind of air you're breathing in, particles, pathogens, you know. And I'm very sensitive to those things. I can pick that up in my body. So if you hear me coughing like this, you know, because that's not like me. Now, I used to cough like this when I was a chronic smoker, but I have not smoked in over 2 years. Well, I definitely broke that rule when one of my subscribers came and brought me a blunt. It was this long, the blunt. Look, it's been almost 2 days, and I smoked very little of it because it's strong and good too. You know? So shout out for that subscriber that brought me that, and of course they smoked it first, and then I smoked it to make sure that it wasn't poison or something. You know, because that's happened to me too. You know, but the thing is that I didn't drop. The other person dropped. Uh, oh God, you don't know the half of it. So, oh, and I just love you guys. This is the best part of my job. This is the best part of my job that I do. Oh, oh, oh. Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. It's been a while since I had a blunt, and it feels good, and it makes me very psychic, very clairvoyant. Oh, what? Don't have me read you when I'm under the influence of these blunts, because what? Even I get scared, and something else takes over. Like, look, bitch, look, nigga, and breaks it down. I've had people when I come to, and like they be crying. What happened? What happened? I was only gone for a few minutes. A lot can happen in a few minutes. Yeah. Ah, listen. When you reach my age, oh my God, the simpler things matter. I had to learn how to do that. Well, I'll be in a coffee space. She said, I would have fucking slapped myself, you know, all that shit. It's not like I'm taking a shit or something. I can get it because I hate going into a coffin space. Oh, yes, please donate, guys. Donate generously, handsomely. Don't forget that this is tax deductible. You get this money back, and you're helping your uncle, and that's good blessings for you. All right. Puh. Puh. I know that it's not necessary, but you know, I gotta give a little performance. I gotta do a little something, right? A little something. I got my roast beef and my French bread. Yeah. And of course, my delicious Aperol. Listen, you gotta appreciate it because when you're under a heat advisory and shit be falling apart and you don't know what the fuck to do, a little joy like this comes a little handy. It do. Oh. Ooh. Oh, it's hitting. It's hitting. It's hitting. It's hitting. But Arkansas, they love it. They love it because they haven't had any in a long time. So they're loving it. Remember, I'm an earth sign. So my archons are also very earthy. And they love this kind of stuff. But I could not, sit and do this every single day. I mean, I got an empire to build, rebuild, and run. Can't be getting high every day like that. It's just, it sounds cute, looks cute on movies. But the true millionaires can do this shit every day. We can't. So when we do let our head down and party, it can become, excessive. It can become excessive. Now, let me see who's here. Let me see who's here. And say good morning to him. Uranus Black. Can we ask questions in the chat? Some about our chart? No. Can't ask those questions, any questions about the chart, unless I've already charted you, where I can look at the chart in front of me and then answer your questions that you have about any aspects concerning your chart. I can not give you an answer that might be correct in isolation, but incorrect concerning the entire totality of the chart. That would be very irresponsible of the astrologer to do that. If we're going to answer any questions concerning your chart, we don't know your chart. You do. So it could be it's a setup to ask us questions if we don't know your birth chart. We have to know your birth chart. We have to know how old you are too, so we can see where in the cycle the chart is being activated or not. So the answer to that, unfortunately, is no. You have to be charted. Also, good morning and love you, Uncle. I love you more. Robbie J, how are you? Namaste. How are you? Kara Graham. Ooh. Kara, listen to me. See, this is the shit that is fierce. This is the shit that is worth being on the fucking line of fire. to find, you didn't, Kara, you didn't find that book. The book found you. Because you're the bitch that can use those notations. When I was initiated, I also found the book of notations of Mercury. That Thoth himself, Mercury himself, came down and morphed into a book. And once you took it and you walked home with it, you brought that energy into your home, into your life. Now you are a member of the chosen one. And your job is to be a writer and to write what it will be inspiring for you to write from within your psyche, or however it is that Mercury will manifest. You will be a great person to do a birth chart and see what your Mercury is. My Mercury is on the ascendant. And most people that find notation books of Mercury that are magicians in the future, they usually have Mercury on the ascendant or in Aries or in the 10th house, but not too far away from the sun. And that might also include the 12th house. Very good, Kara. Congratulations. And you found it yesterday, which in other places will be Wednesday, which is Mercury's day. Fierce. Good morning. Damaris Patterson, Jazz Gayaz. Morning. Telegram, I'm telling you. It's all about you. Uh-huh. Oh, no, that's too fucking high. Good morning, Jazz Damaris. How do you get a reading? You go to 347-485-6258 under Zelly, and you'll give your $40 in, and then send me a screenshot, or if you cannot do a screenshot, let me have your email in which you usher the payment, so then it'll come up on my phone that it's been confirmed. It won't bling. I shut off the bling, but I see it on my phone. Okay. If you do not have Zelly, then you can donate. You can pay, and it's not donation because you get a terms of service and a receipt with that payment. If you don't have Zelly, you go to the PayPal. With PayPal, remember there is no phone number, only a link, and the link is the People's Astro. Okay. Very, very good. All right, and let's see, who is this? No, you can't. This is girls these days. Sure, you can ask me a question about the last round, and again, you call me directly. You can email me because I had no computer, I had no laptop, I had no phone, I had no desktop. Remember, I was in New York and all my computers were being destroyed. My house caught on fire. So it was a very unstable time. But now here I have more stability. But I prefer that you call me. Okay, and that's 281-690-8825, where you can reach me personally. I'm gonna write it down, okay? Let's see. Where are we? Okay, I'm gonna put it down, guys, for you. And this is where you can call me directly. If I don't answer right away, it's because I have a few of you in front of me, and I'm entertaining the conversations of some of you. So don't be discouraged. Somebody got to me before you. That's what that happens. Especially when I finish the stream. People are in line waiting to call. So, and then I will try to handle everybody as expeditiously as possible. Yesterday I had 17. I accepted 11 and had to schedule the rest further into the summer. Further into the summer. That's why I figure if you catch me now in these hours, that is more advantageous for you. Because then if you are the type that like to do things at the last minute, you won't catch me that way. And then when you finally do catch me, I won't have the time to give you. And then I have to schedule you further out into the summer, which is like trying to run and get a ball, but I kick it by accident and it goes further out. That's what happened when people try to get me at the last minute. You end up being further out into the ocean. Because now there's too many people in front of me now. There's some services that I offer where I have people in 2 to 3 year waiting periods, waiting list periods, 2 3 years waiting list. Okay. Girl, round 25. Cara Grant, can I know what book you found, please? I'm a Gemini rising, and I need to know more about Mercury. Cara and Uranus Black, both of you. If you're going to give that information, don't do it on the chat. It's sacred. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Here's where I'm going to assert being Uncle Fernando. I'm Uncle Fernando for a reason. Because I got the knowledge. And you're being ushered into the knowledge. One day you're going to become me. One day you are going to become me. Replace me. And I either have transitioned or am still here ushering more masters like you in the making. Uranus Black and Cara Graham. All right? So do that privately. You never know who's looking. Shamanic Jones, I want to meet you in person. Okay, well, I'm here in downtown Houston. Call me. We'll talk about it. And let's see what happens. Did I write down the phone number? I sure did. And I didn't click to send it. Here we go. Okay. I should be there. Doris Patterson. I'm in Aries with a Virgo moon. Oh, wow. I want to add to the evolving knowledge of astrology, and Mercury is where I can add my little bit. Oh, Kara, it's not a little bit, believe me, it's a lot. It's a lot. You should be very proud of yourself. Okay, Jones, I'm a Scorpio rising, Gemini moon, Capricorn sun. Low winking 3:45. Good morning or good evening. Karika Breda, how are you? Natalie Seji, I'm an Aries woman and always attract Gemini men. The men all are the same. And let me tell you something too. Gemini men are among the most beautiful of men. Of all 12 signs of the zodiac, even the books on astrology say it. They are the most beautiful, handsome of men from Orion. Mm-hmm. I've seen them, and I like, wow, you're stunned. You think the women are beautiful, because the women are just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. So who does not love a Gemini woman? But the men, you stay looking at them like, what is this motherfucker real? Yeah. Now what's going on in here? That's another story. But they usually are among the most handsomest of men, and the Bible does make reference to it too. It's not just me or lust or low vibration, sensual energy. No, no, no. This is fact. Okay. Well, again, understand what happened, that situation. We don't really do that, but I will do it for you. Girls these days is saying, "Can I send you $15 since I sent you 25 in February?" But we never had the meeting. Um, that's a long time ago. Uh, and if it didn't happen, we usually had an explanation for it, that we were in the middle of some very horrible situation that was going on. I'm gonna check those dates. I think that was that we were at our worst with death threats and shit happening, and we had to postpone service. I don't mind you to do that, and I'll answer your 25 question. Make sure that once I finish the readings online, that you call immediately. For you, I want you to call. That's 281-694-8825. Okay. I'm never gonna say no to old returnees. But we never justify one payment over another, because usually if we don't deliver the service, there's a reason why. And again, when we're dealing with shamanic work and witchcraft, our first line of defense is to protect the public. So if that was the situation, it's because we were protecting you from these energies. All right, not to be punitive, but that is what we have to do as shamans. That's not a tarot reader or an astrologer's call. That's a shaman's call. All right. So, yeah, you send it at three. You send the money, girls these days, at Zelly 347-485-6258. All right. That's what you send. The People's Astro through PayPal, and I'll do your reading. Gemini gets a bad rap. Yeah, they do. But I'm sorry, and I love Geminis. They are my brothers and my sisters, because I'm Virgo, and I'm ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini. So I can never go against a Gemini. I love Geminis, even the most wretched, nastiest, evil, and I do mean evil motherfuckers. Even them, I don't get angry with them. If anything, and if it's within my power, I would rescue them, protect them. Because it's like my little brother that gets in fucking trouble. But it's my fault that he's in trouble because I wasn't supervising him. That's how we see Gemini. We really see them as harmless. What makes them so dangerous is that they are emotionally disconnected with the things that they do, and don't appreciate the emotional impact that what they do has on the other person. And it's not that they don't give a shit. Mercury is There's nothing emotional about Mercury. I mean, do you understand the planetary energy of Mercury? Can you describe to me the atmosphere of Mercury? What Mercury is, or what it looks like? What did you learn in high school physics, or in the high school astronomy? Did they even teach that? Because if you understand the planet Mercury, and I have it on the ascendant, let me tell you. Look, you know that song, "Hey, hey, hey, Paula." Let me tell you, Mercury is evil. It is demonic. And the tree of life Yeah, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. Understand why you should appreciate Mercury. Okay? Tree of life again. Let me turn on some lights. Good morning. I do this every morning. It's a ritual. Good morning, Houston. All right. Well, without further ado, off with the sheets. This is the tree of life. So, we left off that the tree of life and this is how I'm answering the question about Gemini. Because yes, Gemini gets a bad rap. So I feel that I gotta protect my little brothers and sisters. The motherfucker could kill somebody right next to me, and the cops run and go, "Did he do it?" I'm gonna tell you, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't do it. We find it hard to betray Gemini because Gemini is still the child. After Gemini comes Cancer, which is still a child. Then after Cancer, we got Leo, which is the teenager. And then Virgo, which is the adult. And then from Libra to Pisces is about relationship to other people. So from Aries all the way to Virgo is one side of the pillar. And then over here, from Libra back to Pisces is the other half. 6 and 6, and that makes 12. It's a polarity. That's another way that you can combine them and compare them. I'm going to go back to this model. We're not going into more details, but I'm just making a point concerning Gemini. And then I'll remove myself from this model. Here you got Neptune, which is God himself, or herself, or it. We don't know. It has no sex. It has no gender. Then we have the imposter God, the demiurge God, Saturn, Jehovah. Here we got Uranus. In mythology, doesn't Saturn castrate Uranus? And the genitals of Uranus falls down and there rises Venus? Right? You all remember the mythology now. Well, here it is. Here is Venus, Saturn, and right across is Uranus, the god that used to rule the age, but Saturn came, that's why it's black, and castrated Uranus. Here's the mythology. Pluto was discovered in 1930. All the other planets were discovered, except for Pluto. Why? Because Da means the background. Pluto was hiding in the background. That's why you couldn't see it. The mythology of Pluto is that he has the helmet of invisibility. Da is invisibility. There is Pluto behind the curtain. But then again, where is Pluto now? Pluto is in our orbit, right? We got all the planets. We got Jupiter, Saturn, right? The Earth, Venus, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, and all the way down is Pluto. Way 8 years below the plane of the sun. The Cassini space probe, when it goes down and it goes to Uranus. And if it's aligned properly, it will hit Neptune. And if it's aligned properly, it will hit Mars, right? Because it takes 6 or 8 years to get to Mars. If the orbits are aligned properly. But to get to Pluto, all the way down, I'm all the way down. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way down. All the way down. It's impossible. To get to Pluto would take decades. But the mythology and the tree of life is confirming this because there is Pluto in the background. Here is Tipares, the sun, which is the second portion of the tree of life. This is the first triad. Here we have a second triad. Here we got the sun ruled by Leo, having a connection to Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and then here it is again, connection to Mars, connection to Jupiter, and the sun goes directly down. I'm going down, 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 down. See? And from the sun, way down is the moon. Funny, it's not connected to Venus or Mercury, but it's connected to the other planets. But it's not connected to Venus or Mercury or the Earth because the moon blocks it. The evil twin of the moon or of the Earth is the moon. So the Earth has no connection to the sun. The moon does, which is why it gives light. And that light that takes from the sun, it illuminates light on Earth. So even the light that we are getting from the sun has been blocked and been refixed to give a different type of light that's not equal to the light of the sun. So that also is an illusion. Oh, it's deep. The sphere of Mercury, where Mercury resides, is called hard. Hard is where Mercury is. And Mercury is connected to the moon and to Venus. But it's not connected. It's not connected to the Earth. Here, see? It ends right here. The moon blocks this triad. And instead of elevating the energy up, it pulls it downward. This is the concept of evil, the concept of duality. And if we go back up here, we got the sphere of the archangels. Here we got the archangels. Here we got the gods of Adam, of the Garden of Eden, that came down and created us. And then they gave our blueprint to lesser gods, the Elohim. And these are called archangels or cherubs. That's the middle sector. And once these archangels or the elder brothers or our space brothers or our gurus and ascended masters upper higher echelons close to the gods that we don't even know, the 12 hierarchies, they're called them in Hebrew. These gods created the blueprint of future mankind. And then these beings created us in actual carbon matter, flesh and blood. They left us to our own devices, and then we took a life of our own down here. And now what started out as gods, archangels, now become the watchers. The watchers. They made us in the blueprint, then gave us physical form to another group of gods and archangels, and then they left us to our own devices, only to be supervised in secret and watched from above through the watchers. It's deep. It's deep. And it's about to get deeper. These are all archons, but broken in different divisions according to their function, like the beehive. The beehive has 5 to 8 different types of drone bees, and all they do is what they are supposed to do, while the queen sits and lays their eggs. And we have a perfect system running. The beehive, very, very perfect analogy for the tree of life. Every god has his function. And Mercury, since we're talking about Mercury, is no different. The evils and the good of Mercury are important and needed and necessary. Now, there you go. See? I'm defending my brothers, my Gemini brothers. They really are irresistible in their old moody selves. But they're like children, and their beauty is very childlike too. Again, ascent in the fact that they're so young in the developmental process. They're number 3. So if you look at it like that, my dear Cubs, it'll make a lot of sense to you. Now let me see. What is your opinion, guys, about this? Shakta, good morning. Daniela G, good morning from Slovakia. Good morning. Agnes Conchalves, I'm a Virgo sun, 12/09/1995. And my date is 22/09/1997. He's in a cusp. I've been attracting a lot of Virgo men. Don't know why. Emotionally, I'm drawn to Pisces. Your north or south node might have the answer to that. Your attraction to Pisces, it depends in what way. Romantically, in a way that is almost like infatuated love, euphoric love, just head over heels. That's because that is a wonderful way to fall in love, let me tell you, and to experience emotional euphoria, almost making you believe that you really are in love. But the fact that you attract a lot of Virgo men who are more practical and got their feet on the earth is probably a warning to make sure that there's balance in your life and that you don't have both feet planted on the ground. At least have one planted on the ground so you can allow the other one to take a leap of faith into something that could be wonderful, beautiful, but short-lived. And if that should be the case, you can fall back and not be devastated because you always have one foot firmly planted on the ground. and that's symbolized by Virgo. So the universe may be trying to tell you to be careful, and it's putting Virgos in your life because Virgos, we may be emotional and histrionic, and because the opposite is Pisces, right? But don't get it twisted. We are an Earth sign, and when we have to be that executive, be that entrepreneur, that connoisseur, we do, we become it, and that freaks people out. That's the essence of mutable Earth. We can wear many hats and wear them well. Hey, Soul Serene tuning in. Yes, the heat of Houston is crazy. It's crazy. AC underscore 77. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. That's the tail wagging the dog while they reverse Roe versus Wade to cause emotional reaction so that they can feed off of it. That's called emotional ectoplasm. It was another feeding time at the zoo. Feeding time, because that's an emotional issue. So they needed to do that in order to get what they wanted over here where you're not looking. I tell you guys, if I wasn't an astrologer or a mystic, I would have been a political correspondent. Because I have Mercury in my ascendant. I wanted to be a journalist. I'm good at that shit. I love what I'll put on a mic in a minute and ask you questions that you cannot squirm yourself out of. I think that's why I like Gemini. Because Gemini is like that too. Okay. Oh God! I hope that's me. That was fucked up. If I thought it was me and it wasn't me all along. Fierce. No, the moon can block the Earth, and that's another type of eclipse. Or the moon can block the sun. You could have a lunar eclipse, or you could have a solar eclipse. And variances, and they all mean different things. I got several books on eclipses above moon, from lunar eclipse, which occurs with the Earth, and then the solar eclipse, which it occurs with the sun. And they're very different and mean different things, and they're very complex mathematically to predict. Myra says, I have a 3-month-old baby. Can I get a synastry as mother to understand her energies better, or is she too young to do it? No, you can get a synastry of your own child. The measurement is called tertiary progressions. You got primary progressions, and then you have tertiary progressions. What you want is a tertiary progression synastry chart. Absolutely. I haven't done those. Those are fun to do too. When would you like to have that done? So I can write it down on the board. Go to the Zelly. You know what to do. I charge $200 for that because it's very heavy calculations. Because I have to go day by day by day by day and use 12 hours of the diurnal arc. We don't have 24 hours. We have 23 hours, 57 minutes, and 46 seconds. That's the actual time. It's rounded off to be 24 hours because it's convenient for business and commerce. But for astrologers, it's a headache because if we're going to do predictions, we cannot round off figures like that. We have to go by the actual equations of it. So when we're doing tertiary progressions for babies with their mothers, it's one of those things where every second and minute counts. If you fuck up the seconds, you're gonna fuck up the minutes. It's like a bank. If you fuck up the pennies, you're gonna fuck up your dollars. If you can antiquate it to that, you will gain an appreciation of how complex it can be. Especially if the planets involved are retrograde, because that's a whole nother series of calculations. It's like aligning the orbits of 2 or 3 planets to be just right. No, this is calculus. This is calculus. That is the essence of calculus. And they used to have programs out there that would do them. They don't have software programs like that anymore. And I'm an old time astrologer. I learned to do this before there was computers and stuff like that. But now they don't even offer it because they're very difficult. And no modern astrologer today is going to do them by hand. But I'm one of those people that do. Because look what happened the other day. We lost power. We lost Wi-Fi. So now I couldn't do a birth chart because I had no computer. Thank God that I learned to do a birth chart by hand before I learned to do it through a computer. So what did I do? I went to the library in Houston and I took out a book of tables, a book of logarithms, a book of houses. I took out an atlas and I sat down with a couple of pencils. Yeah, let me show you, because I can show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, I bring my little thing with pencils. See? Lots of pencils and pens. And I put it in my bag where I have all kinds of books and notes. And I do the bitch by hand. Now that's a true astrologer. But modern astrologers today will never be able to do a chart by hand because it's an ancient art that has died with the times. We have computers now. But this is the problem with computers. If they shut down, you're fucked. Because then what are you going to do? And if you don't know how to do this and navigate the stars by your own power of your own knowledge, then you're screwed. You're out of a career. Eh? In my school, I teach you how to do a chart by hand. I teach you the shit by hand. I'm not going to raise any astrologers that's computer generated. Because God forbid the bitch falls apart. How are you going to do your work? If you go to a third world country where it's not as affluent as ours, and you're not going to have access to the things that you're accessed here, how are you going to be an astrologer and help the people that you're supposed to help if you don't know how to erect the chart because you don't fucking know where the moon is at any time of the day, or Mars or Jupiter? You have to know in real time where they're at to plot a chart by hand. And that's difficult and a fucking devastated, thankless, non-forgiving commitment. Do you know how long it takes to do a birth chart by hand? 8 to 9 hours. 8 to 9 hours. I want you to understand and have an appreciation of the gravity of that kind of time just to do it. Do you know how much they used to charge people just to erect the chart? You have to give deposits. And then to interpret it was another set of costs. Astrology was not for everybody, and it was definitely not for the poor. In my day, you had to have money to get an astrologer done, a birth chart done, or you wasn't going to get any. Because you couldn't afford it. You guys are young and I'm very lucky that you're living in a different time where this is available to you. Understand that it's a beautiful art. I love you more, Christina McGuire. Design Imhotep. Thank you. You guys are terrible. Thank you for these. Thank you for these insights. Oh God, please! It's my pleasure to educate you and to raise it up a notch, right? Okay. Uncle, I'm a Libra, Aquarius, Moon, Neptune, Caffeine, Mars, Leo, Mercury, Virgo. I have so much fun. No water. What does that mean? I want to love, but always oh my dear, you gotta have a birth chart down. Put the money on the Zelle or PayPal. I cannot answer that question without knowing your chart, my dear. Come on, booby. Do what you gotta do. 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 It's over an hour. I'm gonna take a half an hour break and see if any of you have responded so that I can go on and do your readings. Okay. If not, I'll be back in half an hour. And let me get something to eat, guys. Thanks. Uh, Call me if you want a chart or a reading. It's 281 694 8825. Now, you don't use that number to pay or donate to Zelly. That's another number. And that's 347-485-6258. Okay, guys? So whoever calls, I'm going to answer. I hope this resonates.